Hello and welcome to SimpleSoftware 211, Imprinting and Bait Stamping. Imprinting with SimpleIndex is a unique feature that allows you to perform basically the same function as a mechanical imprinter that you can often purchase for some high-speed scanners. The mechanical imprinter actually uses an inkjet printer to write a sequential number or some kind of word or words that you define on each image as it's scanned. In SimpleIndex, we're able to mimic that capability only with software by imprinting the actual image after it's been scanned. And you see how imprinting looks on a scanned image. The word Bates Demo and the page number have been imprinted on all the pages in this file. And with SimpleIndex, you're able to define the position and the size of the imprint, and you have several options for how to form the value that's ultimately stamped on the page. So let's take a look at the job that was configured to create that page. We used the invoice processing demo and processed from a folder, and then just created a simple fixed field to create the file name. All of the configuration for this job take place on the Imprint tab. So to create the image that we just saw, we printed the words Bates Demo on each page, followed by a space, dash, and then a space, and then the page number, which we selected this option down here to enable the page number to be imprint. There's several things you can do with the imprint. You have the option to imprint a field value. So if you want to do a true bait stamping application where you are imprinting a sequential number across multiple batches and you want the number to pick up where you left off on each file, then you would create an auto number field and imprint that field value as opposed to the page number. The page number is only going to imprint the page number for the current file and not the page number for the whole batch or the whole job. The separator character works just like the field separator. You can put any string you want and this will be inserted between any values that you select. And the imprint text basically goes in order. So the text is the first element, followed by the separator, then the field value, followed by the separator again, and then you can have the image file name, the current date, and the page number as well. And if you select all of these options, they will simply be imprinted in order. To determine where the imprint is going to take place, you set the X and Y coordinates. And that determines the upper left corner of where the text will be printed. The font size determines how big the text is, and the page number length is just like the page number length on the batch tab. It determines how many zeros will be put in front of the page number so that it's a standard length on every page. Unlike the OCR function, you don't have the ability to actually set these coordinates interactively. What you have to do is calculate the coordinates, and these coordinates are in pixels, and so if you have a 200 dot per inch image, then setting the X and Y coordinates to 200 will put the upper left corner of the text 1 inch in from the upper left corner of the document, because it goes 200 to the right, X, and then 200 down. And since 200 DPI means 200 pixels per inch, that puts it 1 inch over and 1 inch down. The option down here to measure XY from the bottom right allows you to very easily put the imprint in the bottom right corner, without having to calculate the full size of the page. You just calculate how many inches over from the bottom right corner you want, as opposed to where that position is relative to the upper left corner. So this makes it a lot easier to put it in the bottom right. And when you're putting it in the bottom right, remember that your x-coordinate has to be large enough to accommodate all of the text at the font size that you selected. So let's see what happens if we select all the options and run this batch. And let's see how to put the imprint in the bottom right. So since we're going from the bottom right, we need to increase the x-coordinate so that there's room for the entire length. So we're going to make this 800. And this is a pre-indexed batch. It's going to run automatically. And you see the imprinting step takes place after the export. And if I go to my output folder, we have the TIFF image that was created. And as you can see, all of the text from the field, the date, the file name, which is the same as the field value, so that's why it repeats, the text that we entered, and the page number are all imprinted. And because there wasn't enough room before the end of the page, because our x-coordinate wasn't wide enough to accommodate it, it wrapped around automatically. And that's how you configure the imprint and bait stamping option.